Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for April 4th, 2023 from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. It was raining in the morning, which delayed the start of the count. I finally went out around 11 a.m. and took this photo shortly after, and actually this photo makes it look a lot nicer than it was. This was just a very brief period when we had a little bit of blue sky. It was relatively cold with an easterly wind that was getting stronger and shifting northeast, which is not a good wind direction for us. I knew there wouldn't be much raptor migration, so I spent a lot of time out at the end of the boardwalk, scoping through the ducks and just looking out over the bay. Here's a group of 5 double-crested cormorants, and cormorant numbers should continue to increase over the next few weeks. There were 11 northern shovelers out on the water, just off the end of the boardwalk, which was nice to see. It's kind of a funny species that some days we see a lot of them, and then the next day we won't see any at all. Here we have 2 horned larks that were part of a group of around 10. In the 1 o'clock hour, there were some turkey vultures that got up and moved through in small groups. Had 29 turkey vultures for the day, so not a huge number, but at least a little bit of activity on an otherwise slow day. Taking a look at the eBird checklist, today I had 55 species, which, all things considered, isn't really that bad for how lousy the weather conditions were. And looking at hawk count for our migrant raptor totals today, had 29 turkey vultures and 1 sharp-shinned hawk for a total of 30 migrating raptors. If we look at some of the other non-raptor highlights, there was a pied-billed grebe and 4 horned grebes out on the bay, had a couple Bonaparte's gulls and common loons, had 2 great egrets flying together, and also had a barn swallow, which is still getting flagged as rare or early on eBird, and had the second fox sparrow of the season, which was singing. There were no new species for the season today. Taking a look at tomorrow, looking like thunderstorms in the morning, then overcast during the afternoon with occasional rain, high in the upper 60s, winds starting out east and shifting south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So this is a day that's a little bit hard to forecast. The winds are starting out easterly, maybe even northeast, looking at one of my other weather apps, and it's calling for thunderstorms in the morning. So those conditions don't seem very good at all. Now, in the afternoon, when the winds shift around more to the south, that's when we really get the warming, and that's a more favorable wind direction, but it seems like there might also be some rain with it. However, if we have those good winds in the afternoon and there's not any precipitation, then we might end up getting a bit of a flight. So hard to predict. We'll just have to see what ends up happening, and it could be an interesting day. For Thursday, it's looking overcast with a high in the mid-50s, winds west at 15 to 25 with higher gusts possible. So westerly winds are an okay wind direction for us, so I'd say expect a moderate flight. The only concern would be that those winds are a bit on the strong end, which sometimes holds back the flight a little bit, but more importantly, it just makes it uncomfortable to be out there hawk watching. Sometimes we have to shelter behind the platform, or if you're up on the platform, that wind can really bat you around. So it just makes it uncomfortable when you're trying to hawk watch, but should at least be some migration on Thursday. For Friday, we're looking at intervals of clouds and sun, high in the low 40s, winds west-northwest at 15 to 25. So again, it's an okay wind direction, a little less favorable than the previous day, and again, quite strong, but doesn't look like there will be any rain. Got a bit of sunshine, so should have some migration, although it's going to be cold and windy, so bundle up. All right, well, a little bit of a slow, shorter day today, but sometimes it's nice to get a little bit of rest after long days like yesterday when we have a big flight. And I know today there were some reports of first of years showing up in the area, things like little gull, common tern, and even Caspian tern. So maybe we'll look forward to some new arrivals at the Hawk Watch over the next few days. Hope to see you out at the platform. From Lake O'Birds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.